Okay, hand dug clay, dug out of the hills of Shaler Township, processed and ready to use. This is what it looks like right here. I'm going to take a piece of this and I'm going to make a T-bowl. Show you how to make a T-bowl. Okay, take a piece of clay, about 1.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds. Try to make this clay as even as possible to start with. On the banding wheel. Try to get it centered up. This isn't quite touching right here. Quite touching the wheel. Put a little bit of a water ring on it, or a mud ring. Try to center that clay up as best as possible. About the center. Okay. Take a tool, something similar to this. These are handmade, and they're made after the old Japanese style tools. Let me carve the center of this out. I leave enough in the bottom so that it's a pretty thick foot. You want to be able to have enough clay so when you carve the bottom of the pot, you don't carve through the foot of the pot. Okay, I think that's about all I'm taking out of the bottom. Now, the bottom of this pot is fairly thick still. But almost an inch thick still. And that'll give me a good footing for my ring. Okay. Try to center this up as best as possible. Start pinching. Pinch around the bottom first, the middle, and then the top. Don't have to pinch it too thin, but thin enough. And I try to pinch about 1/4 of an inch thick. Now the pot will start growing upwards and outwards as you pinch it, which is fine. Making it bigger is not a problem. Don't worry about getting the top irregular, because we're going to correct that in a while. I'm going to pedal the top in because I want the top to go back in. So you know what to do that is to compress the pot. And by paddling it, you're compressing it. And that's how you get it to go back in. Otherwise, it won't go in. Okay. The bottom a little tap all the way around. Try to help center it up. One little spot that's cracked here, we'll heal that up just by rubbing it. Okay. We want to straighten the top of this out, just a small amount. Get it as straight as possible before we get too far gone here. Should be kind of straight. You want to work on taking a little bit of this clay out of here where it's not even. Okay. Fairly straight. We'll even it up one more time before we're done. Got a little foot all the way around on the pot. Try to even the bottom up. Spot for the wire to go under. Get some of this clay out of here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take a rib, just like this rib. Actually, I'm going to use this rib. Okay, And I'm going to smooth the inside of this pot all the way around on the inside. I'll smooth it out, clean it up real nice, and I'll probably just hit the outside of this a little bit with it. And that'll help smooth this out. And then we'll come back to the video. The bowl's got some form to it. Took a rib to the inside, ribbed the outside a little bit. Cut the foot real nice and clean all the way around as best as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to dry it, turn it over, cut the foot in it. Okay, when you dry it enough so that it supports itself, but don't dry it too much that it cracks. Okay, so now we're going to cut it off the wheel head. Center it up the best as possible. Make a mark right around here to where the cut is. It's fairly even. Take this tool, I'm going to gouge this out. Once you don't go too deep, you cut into the interior of the bowl. But yet you want it deep enough that it supports the bowl and the center is off the table. So take a cut out of here. Try to make this even. Or as best as possible. Okay, now when you tap on the center of the bowl, you can hear a hollow knocking sound. That lets you know whether or not you're getting too thin or you're not thin enough. Still could be thinned out some. Probably wouldn't hurt to thin it just a hair more. I don't want to go too thin. Get that as nice as even as possible. Clean it up real nice. Take the square sharp edges off of everything so it's nice and rounded so it doesn't cut into the tabletop. Okay, and I like to put a little spiral on this. sure the bowl's centered. That's the spiral. Bring the outside this up a little bit. And that's about it. Take a sponge to it. Suck up some of that water. Take off some of them rough edges. Okay, take my chop, which is a bowl, and I have the chop somewhere on the outside, not smashing the pot. There it is. I'm going to turn this back over, and I'm going to add the slip to it. But be careful doing this because it's still pretty wet, and it will flex really easy still. Center it up. Fair. Make sure you round it back up from being upside down on the pot. It's a porcelain slip. Okay. Some on your hand. Put a generous amount on the pot. Make sure it's a pretty fair, thick layer. Most of the way around. Okay. Try to cover the pot up to some extent. Okay, and I'm going to put a pattern or a design or something similar to that on this after I clean the rim off. So I'm going to slip off the rim. And you don't really want it on the rim. That's what people are drinking, and you don't want it rough on the rim. So try to get that cleaned up fairly well. Okay, now I'm going to take this rib and put some pattern on it. Okay, that's my pattern. Try to clean the foot off best as possible down here. Dry it a bit with the heat gun so that I can handle it. Try to clean this off. Let's see if I can't get this off the bottom of the foot here. And that's it. One handmade tea bowl out of hand dug clay.